Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Tinker77 and we are back today in the Redstone world that I'm doing all of my Redstone videos on, teaching you about Redstone, the various components, what they do, and some of the tricks that you can use with them. And today we're going to have a kind of a fun one. This is levers, plates, and buttons. Levers, plates, and buttons. These are items that you can use to interact with Redstone. Things that you can do like pressing switches or causing things to happen. So let's go over those really quick so you can kind of see what they are. The lever, real easy. It stays on always. And then there you go, it's off, right? You have the various plates. There's a stone plate. There's all 6 wood plates. You also have the weighted pressure plates of there look like gold and iron. And these basically are switches. See, so when you step on this, something happens, and then it turns off after a little bit of time. And so I can walk down the whole thing. There you go. Look at that. Okay. The other things are buttons, and you have stone buttons, and you have the various wood type buttons. Okay. If you notice there, I'll talk about that in a minute. But it seems like the wood goes a little longer, doesn't it? We'll get into that in just a second. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody for liking this series. I've gotten a lot of feedback about how necessary this is to know specifics about each component instead of just how to make big designs. Helps people to know what's going on when a redstone build that they're trying to follow or tutorial, to know what each part is actually doing. So thank you guys for all the comments and likes. That's great. And one thing else, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. It just takes a moment and it really does help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Okay, so let me get this all reset and we're going to start to talk about the lever. So how do you make a lever? It's very easy. You have a stick and a piece of cobblestone, and that's it. It's a lever. See, there we go. I got 2 of those now. That's great. And the neat thing about the lever is, like I showed you in just the last clip, was that it can stay on constantly. That's a great way of causing things to happen. Now, if you notice here, when it's on, when it's flipped, it has little particle effects. When it's off, it does not. That's one way you can tell. Just like that. Pretty cool, huh? Now, the other thing that's kind of neat about this is that it can be placed on the sides of blocks, and it can be placed on top, and it can actually be placed on bottom. Let's do that real quick here. Okay, see this? You can put it right on the bottom. Okay, so you can really put it on all sides. Now, the thing that's kind of odd, at least to me, is when it's on the side. Usually, you think of like a light switch. Usually, up is on, but in this case, down is on, and it's something to get used to when you look at it. Have fun with it. I'm not sure where it is, how it is where you are, but that's where it is where I'm at. So another thing that's kind of nice is, like, if you want to, let's say you have, I'm gonna have like a floor up here, okay? You know, and I'm redstone savvy, and I want to have my floor have redstone lamps, and I want them to be on. So what you can do is to always power them. You can always put a lever underneath, and there you go. It's always on. So there's ways to use this lever when you want things to be constantly powered, and that's one of the best things for it. Other than that, it's pretty basic. You just make it with a stick and cobblestone, and you just place it next to the blocks or whatever, and it can power. Now, it does power, if you recall my last videos about redstone and circuits, it does power the full 15. It's basically full power when it's on and no power when it's off. Okay? Now, let's go into probably the next one is when you do interactivity. Let's go with buttons. There are 2 types of buttons. There is the wood button and all the various wood types. I'm just going to use oak for example, but you can make it without of all the 6 types of wood, and then you have the stone button. Okay. Now there are some slight differences with this. Again, let's put this one here. I'll put a block here so you can kind of see it. Okay. Now I'm always get these confused. I believe the stone button is quicker than, or I should say, less time than the wood one. I think this is a full second, and this is a second and a half. Okay, and that equates to about 10 ticks and 15 ticks. Okay, there you go. So this is a temporary usage thing. It's kind of like the lever. It turns on and stays on for a little bit of time, but then turns off automatically. Okay, so I can go away, I can push it and go away, and it'll turn off. Now, it's useful for doors, or if you want to activate some sort of functionality, but you don't want to have to go and turn it back off. That's kind of that thing. Now, also, just like the lever, you can put them on the bottom. You can put them on the side. You can put them anywhere you want. I'll put this one over here. There, see? So they can work anywhere on any side of the block. So that's pretty easy. This one's a little bit, takes a little bit more time. You might want to use a wood one if you want to keep a door open for longer. Let's go get a door. We'll do a door real quick. Okay, so we have a door here. Push a button, and the door opens, right? Isn't that great? And one thing about doors real quick, you can usually open this, most people know this, just by activating it with your regular right click. Okay, but if you're using the iron door, you can't. Here's the iron door. I can't, I'm clicking, nothing happens. But this provides a redstone signal to the door, okay? And you see that down in strongholds and that sort of thing where they have a button. And so you can see it's got some uses, okay? All right, now the next thing we're gonna go to is the various plates, the pressure plates, and they're a little bit different. There's a few different varieties of that, and we're gonna get into that right now. Now we're on to the pressure plates, and there are really 4 types of pressure plates, okay? I'm gonna show you how to make those. There is the stone pressure plate, which is just 2 stone. There is all of the wood pressure plates. Wow, I can't speak. There are 6 types of that, 1 for each type of wood you use. The gold one makes the light weighted pressure plate, and the iron one is the heavy weighted pressure plate, okay? Now these can basically go anywhere you want, as long as they're on top of blocks, okay? You can't put them on the sides and that sort of thing, but that's where you would be able to place them, not underneath, not on the sides, on top of blocks, okay? Now, I'm going to show you the differences between these because those are kind of important. Now, you can see I laid all 4 of these out, and I've put 15 redstone and a lamp at the end. 15 is the maximum length of a circuit that can be powered in redstone. Now, if I step on this one, the light turns on. This is the stone. Here you have the wood, and you can see it turns on. Now, when I go on to the light-weighted pressure plate, the gold one, only goes one signal strength. And if I go on the iron one, only 1 again. You can see that the second one isn't even lit up. So there's obviously a difference between these, okay? So let's work on these first, okay? You can see this, it lights up. This one lights up. But the interesting thing is, if I take a piece of cobblestone and it didn't light up, but if I throw a piece of cobblestone on this one, it does, okay? And what's going on here is that the stone pressure plate only works when the entity that's on top of it is a mob or a player. Okay, it's not for just like ground entities and things you throw around. This one, however, will work for anything. There you go, see? And as soon as it does, it gives full strength. Now, it's slightly different than these. These work for the entity as well. You can see that one lit up and that one lit up. Okay, so they work for all entities. But the thing is that these work in a way so that if there are, the gold one here, if there are 2 entities on it, it should provide 2 forms of strength. Now see, it kind of joined together. There, let's get another stack of items here. Here we go. So if I put a piece of wood and a piece of cobblestone on here, you can see it made 2 different entities. Now see, what happens when they group up, it groups up to make 1 entity, even though it looks like it's more than 1, it actually counts as 1, okay? And this basically is for distinct entities that it has, 1 through 15, it goes all the way up to that. So if I could get 15 items all at once on here that are different, it would do that. So it's a way of telling how much of entities are on it. This one is basically this times 10. So whereas this one's 1, this one have to have 10 different entities just to make it up to here. And then on, so 20 and 30 and 40. And these are the differences between these, okay? So again, this one here lights up only when users are on it, you know, players or mobs, that sort of thing. This one lights up for any type of entity. Okay, but it gives you full strength. This gives you strength relative to the number of distinct entities on it, and this gives you the relative number based on the number of distinct entities times 10. So 10 entities, 20 entities. It's kind of hard to understand, but once you get the whole hang of it, you'll understand which one to use in what cases. And they don't stay on longer or anything like that. They're about the same length as far as when you're on or off. It's just what they do and how they respond to what sources of input. I showed earlier how the door can be open, but I want to show you that you can use all of these at the same time if you wanted. Not sure why you'd want to, but they can all work. I can go here, the door opens, and then it closes. I can press the button, the door opens, and then it closes, or I can just open the door and leave it open, okay? And these don't have any effect then. You can hear them firing, but nothing's going on. So you can set up different controls for whatever you want to interact with using the redstone. It's a great, great tool, okay? So I think, everybody, that's all I've got time for today. This was a great episode. It really talked about the levers. It talked about buttons, and it talked about pressure plates and how they are useful in starting and activating signals and detecting when certain things are happening, when a person clicks on it or when there's entities. Isn't that great? I think so. Okay, so that's it. If you like this video, please click that like button. If you have any comments, put them down in the comments section. And if you'd like to be notified of the videos I produce, please subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you get all the notifications. Again, thanks everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.